Anyway, it's on. It's on now. Hi, great weather we're having down here, huh?
Hi, Cosmo. Yeah, I was actually out of town. I just flew back in a couple hours ago, so. But it is nice. What is it? 70, 81.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
Marsha.
Cosmo, this is the shirt. Do you recognize the logo?
Yeah, I certainly do.
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. I didn't even know those shirts existed.
This is
Cool.
an old shirt. It's quite tight on me now.
It used to fit.
Well, it used to be a little roomier, but hey, this could be the tight t-shirt happy hour delayed.
So one time I went to a Dream Theater show, which Marsha, you've probably never heard of them, but they're a progressive metal rock band. And I was wearing a Dream Theater tour shirt from a different tour, and they had a new drummer, their current drummer, Mike Mangini. And he goes, "Where'd you get that shirt?" And I said, "I don't know, 3, 4, 5 tours ago, a long time ago." It was like a gas station attendant shirt, right, with the pockets and stuff.
Right.
And I said, "I got 2 of them. You want this one?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, I'll swap you for, give me a t-shirt or something so I can put something on, and I'll give you this shirt." So I gave him literally the shirt off my back, a Dream Theater shirt, to the drummer in Dream Theater because he wanted it. And he gave me a current tour t-shirt or whatever. So
Funny.
Mickey frickin' Kerbishley. We've got royalty.
I know. Hi, Mickey.
Hey, gang.
How are you?
I believe I know Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
Hey. Yeah. I'm looking at that Gary Farrell. Look at that. I mean, you still look like that, Gary, because you look like a male model there.
Easy, Mickey. Easy.
He's hiding behind a picture here. Turn your video on. Come on.
How is everybody?
Fantastic.
What's
A
that?
tiny friggin' group so far, but we make up for it in coolness.
I'm pretty sure it's not because everybody's busy, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of screwed everybody up and changed the day because I was traveling yesterday, so I couldn't do it.
Hey, Cosmo, I wish I was in my office because I have a LSD AC/DC gold disc that is a similar size to yours, and it was for those about to rock. We salute you.
Oh, cool, man.
But it's the global recognition. So
okay.
It's surrounded by flags of the world, and each one shows how many records were sold in each region.
Yeah, Brian has one at his house just like that. Yeah, I've seen it. It's great. It's
That's
big.
Pretty cool.
And I had it redone recently because it was red velvet, and all the color had gone out of it, and it looked really. And I sent it I flipped it over and found the little sticker on the back of who made it in the first place. Sent it back to them, and they redid it. And it's unbelievable. It's so vivid and so really well done.
Cool.
I'll send you a picture of it. It's epic.
Send me a photo.
It's my favorite piece of.
Mickey, do you ever get to Florida?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't made it there. I've been going to Nashville.
Yeah.
That's not Florida.
Backwards and forwards. No. And Vegas, but I've not made it to Florida. I'm supposed to come out there in April.
You've got a new office in Nashville.
We got the Morris warehouse is being the guys actually sold the building, but they're in there for another year. They've got it till the end of the year. So we're just going to continue their lease. And they had just refurbished all the offices. So it's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know they're building up there. I've been in there and it is nice. It's really nice.
It's a good spot. So
did all the people stay on board? Like is Haskell involved?
Haskell's not. He's left the business.
Okay.
But
that's sad. He's a good dude. David Haskell's a really good guy.
He's a good guy. We spend a lot of time together. But he's going into a different business. It's related, but it's not our industry. It's more film and TV thing.
Oh, okay, good for him. I'm gonna have to give him a call.
They're all the younger guys that we're doing all the work. We're just gonna keep those and just promote them. Just lift them up. So
Yeah.
I think
They're a good bunch. They're a really good bunch. It's a nice company. It was sad to see them going. It's nice to see them saved. So I hope it works out for everyone.
you
Are we
know,
talking about the Morris thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
the truth be told, because Dow is like in his mid-80s, he's been sort of liquidating a lot of his assets, and Zach, his grandson, has been helping in that process.
Yep.
And it feels like they were going to do something anyway, but COVID just basically on like it has done with a lot of people.
Yeah, I had been dealing with pretty closely with Zach and the rest of the guys there, helping them to liquidate some inventory and stuff. So, I was well aware of what they were trying to do and how it was all going and stuff. But there was no assurance that they were going to stay or go or what. They were just working a plan. So, but they're a great bunch. I like them.
Really smart young guys working there. I was so impressed, and I think they'll work well with the super smart old guys that we've got.
Yeah. Are you speaking French yet, Mickey?
Oh no, non is no. No, that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, I speak Spanish to them. Screw them.
Hola.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that's it really from our point of view. There's not much other news than that. It's a positive. We got there's everyone's super excited in the UK because the Prime Minister's said they can go and have some parties on the. I think it's. But
I was talking to John Featherstone yesterday about that, and I said, "What do you think about it?" And John's never short of an opinion, and John said that. He said, yeah, it all sounds great, but it's just basically political posturing. And I said, why? They're actually putting dates and stuff. And he said, well, I've got a very good friend who, as soon as they announced those dates, when you're going to be able to do all of these things, put in a permit, and they were turned down 4 times. Following the rules, and they were turned down 4 times for a permit. So
I'm curious about this whole Reading and Leeds festival thing, how that is going to actually happen.
Hey,
I was speaking to Probin this morning. He's like the main sort of guy from Festival Republic, John Probin. They got the announcement almost the same time as we did. They were not given any and they're just like
crazy.
That makes sense of it. They're like, well, we think that we're still going to be doing the shows. They put it all on sale yesterday and today, sold out instantly, as you can imagine.
Well, that's at reduced capacity, right? That's at like 25% capacity of what they can.
I think it's 50, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought they still sold 100,000 tickets, but I don't know.
What's the date of it? What's the date of it, Mickey?
It's in August. It's after the June 21st.
Yeah, so they open up fully after June 21st. Full capacity.
I don't know. I mean, I love to hear it, and I love to see that that's happening, but I mean, so many other festivals are canceling. I mean, I know we need somebody to push us over the edge, but I'm just
canceling. They're canceling. A lot of them are canceling for the wrong reasons, though. They're canceling because they can't get indemnification, or they're concerned about liability, or it's too hard to travel people, or they're not canceling because it's unsafe to put a bunch of people in an arena or in a stadium or a shed.
Well, I mean, actually, Jones Beach just announced their summer lineup. But from what I heard from my Live Nation people is that the reason they did that was they were quickly approaching, they couldn't cancel again, and they didn't want to give the money back, because if you notice, they're not accepting refunds, or they're not doing any refunds. So what a lot of people are saying is this is Live Nation trying to get a cash influx for ticket sales, but there's no guarantee, similar to Red Rocks, how these shows are actually going to happen, because they have artists booked, but the artist hasn't announced that they're actually going to go on tour. Like Dave Matthews, for instance, is the first show at Jones Beach in like June or July, but he hasn't announced a tour.
March 6th.
Well, I think if you the other way around, if you wait and all of a sudden they say, okay, you can do shows, then everybody's going to be racing to book shows and book lighting equipment, book sound gear, crews, buses, hotel rooms, and all that kind of stuff. So if
Then
I
it's
think
even
if you
more
start getting things in
impossible.
place,
Yeah.
it's easier to cancel than to ramp up to do a tour.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I think, I mean, Aerosmith, we just postponed the summer tour for Europe until next summer. I mean, it's coming up in May. So logistics, you know, visas and stuff like that. It's especially in Europe and where it's less control. So they've postponed that. But that, you know, Aerosmith has, you know, they have ulterior motives. I think they want to get back into Vegas before they go to Europe. I think that's where they would rather start. And
Yeah.
if they continue on with the European thing, then they're blocked. You know, they're bookended.
Well, there's also talk in New York about the Hamilton. They want to do a one-night performance of Hamilton on 4th of July, and it's $1,000 a ticket. The producers are still going to lose $100,000 on the deal, but they have this whole thing laid out. I don't know how much of that is them posturing and seeing what they can get out of the deal.
Yeah, who knows?
But I mean, it's not like they can just walk in and do Hamilton. Like they need to get people in the venue. They got to start servicing gear. They have to retech the show. They have to re-rehearse the show. I mean, we're talking months. So I mean, if they want to do that, they got to start getting people in the theater by like March, April.
Well, the other thing that we've been seeing is like large conventions, conferences are either canceling or postponing, but smaller ones are going forward. You know, so like the Scott from ILC was telling me yesterday that the cancer one in Chicago, which is a really big conference with lots and lots of lights on it, they didn't cancel, but they went to a virtual show for June. And so, you know, but I'm seeing a lot of smaller conventions and conferences for like 10,000 people that are still going forward, especially in Florida and Orlando and stuff. One thing I heard yesterday that was kind of disappointing is that, and I don't know, is Gumper here yet? No. What's it called? I just went blank. The big freaking EDM festival down here. Ultra announced yesterday that they're not giving any refunds.
So what does that mean? I think I read that. They said that they'll accept the tickets for next year's festival, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does that do for people that don't want to go next year, but they wanted to go this year, you know?
Exactly.
And
But
it's people who bought tickets for last year's festival that weren't reimbursed. So they're just passing it on. They said, "Oh, we'll give it to you next." No, we're going to hold on to it for another.
But you know
It's
what?
a Live Nation. I think it's.
No, but here's
Live
what's
Nation
interesting.
Well,
Here's
it
what's
wasn't
interesting
Ultra,
about that, though.
It was the city that refused the permits, which is why Ultra canceled, and that happened.
Right. But
in
here's
some
the interesting
vote
thing.
last year.
Here's the interesting thing. Andrew Gumper is in a lawsuit with Ultra because they want their money back from the deposits that they paid him, which he spent. You know, I mean, that's a big freaking show for him. He sent a lot of stuff and people and built some things and all this stuff. And so he's involved in a bit of a lawsuit over that because they want their deposit back, which, you know, was spent. Like it was actually used, right? But here they are not giving people deposits back. So that's pretty interesting.
It's
Craig
really-
freaking Burrows. How
Little
are you, buddy?
slimy, I think. Hey, Craig.
You need a haircut, son. And you need a microphone too.
You're on
You need
mute.
to unmute yourself, Craig.
Hey, I just Googled the Prime Minister of the UK's birthday, and guess what weekend it is?
What?
June 21st.
Of
course it is.
Interesting. That's freaking interesting,
I like
isn't
the
it?
long hair, Craig.
I'm Martha.
Craig Burrows has got
I
a
will-
mullet starting here.
I'm not trying to. It's just long. I'm just trying to push it out of the way.
It looks good.
He's going back to the 80s.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, what was wrong with those days?
Nothing.
Craig, you look good. How are you feeling? Are you
I feel
healthy?
great. Yeah, I feel great. Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything okay?
100%. I'm totally clear. I just had another test a few days ago, and it came back perfect. Actually, extremely low level is absolutely perfect. So, yeah.
That's good news, buddy.
Hope
Glad
it
to
stays
hear
in
it.
the back. Hope it stays in the rearview mirror, man.
That's good news.
Yeah.
You're probably not drinking, but cheers to you, Craig.
I am. I have an IPA actually.
There you go. Listen,
Good.
Craig Burrows would not pass up a cocktail. Let's be real.
Well,
no more spirits for me. Only beer or wine.
he's had a bit of a tough couple of years, though. So
No, I know.
You know, I wouldn't knock him down for not wanting to have a drink.
My hangs with Craig Burrows are usually him with a lot of Tito's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those days are well gone. Not in 2 years, and no cigarette in 2 years, and
I can't say I've never had one of those days with Craig
right.
Burrows.
We've all had those days.
I've been drunk with Craig Burrows once or
Craig,
twice.
we gotta get you a kegerator now. It's cheaper.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
How is
funny.
everybody? I missed a few weeks, so I just hope everybody's doing well.
We're good.
Good.
We're doing
what's-
good. You guys have passed that nasty winter weather bit.
Oh yeah, we all had a good time with that. No electricity for 4 days and broken
Yeah.
pipe. Everything.
What the heck was that nonsense?
Failure of the system.
Well, aren't you back up into like normal temperatures, like in the 60s and stuff?
2 days later, it was 72 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 days ago it was like 80 something in Dallas. Day before yesterday.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so bizarre. That's like Canada weather.
Yeah, it happens here, every decade or so. It just gets down into this minus numbers for 1 or 2 days, and this time it was 4 days, so it was pretty bad.
I think that's what's his name? Newsom has like a voodoo doll that he's poking to fuck with Texas now because you're taking all his people.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Eric freaking Goldman's back. Haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Where you
Hey,
been?
Eric.
Busy?
Yeah, a little busy. Running around.
Uh-oh.
Coming to you live from his evil laboratory.
Yes.
Yeah, the laboratory of books. Yeah.
Yes.
If I need the laboratory, that's what I'd have. For sure.
Very cool.
So what is that? Is that really a library?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
a
my-
law
it's my
library
basement.
or something?
No, it's my basement. We've
Where he
always
plots to take over the world.
yeah, pretty much. There's 2 things now. Well, there's 3 things down here. 4 things: whiskey, wine, a sound system, and books
There you go.
and chess pieces. Yeah, it's
Is
And
there
a lot of
okay.
and a lot of porn on Betamax.
no. I don't. Why do I need that on the internet?
Right. That's
Ugh.
true.
God.
And I can't even imagine what, these 16-year-old kids are going through these days. Jesus.
Horrible. It's just not right.
Well, it's horrible or
hear
fantastic,
that.
depending on how you're looking at it, right?
No, those 16-year-olds should learn that way. That's just a horrible idea. But anyway,
Well, my sister's on
Burr.
here, so I can't tell you anymore, but that's where I have to stop.
Please don't. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
it.
We stop
Yeah,
right now. We don't go any further on this topic.
Please
brought it
don't.
up.
Please don't. Oh my
you notice
God.
how
Much information for Claudette.
That's right. Way too much
information.
information.
It's Marcel who brings it up.
Yeah. Well, I was bringing it up about you, though, not about me. About
Yeah,
you.
forget it. You don't know
We
nothing
call
about
that projection. Yeah.
Hey, Ellen. Looks like Ellen made it too.
So I flew back to Palm Beach today on American Airlines, and I can tell you they are selling the middle seat. I was like, oh, I don't need to upgrade. It's only a short 2.5-hour flight. The plane will be half empty. It's good. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen a more full airplane than this one. It was insane.
Right.
And of course, I had like a 275-pound guy in the middle seat. Like, no matter how much he tried to keep his elbows in, they were jabbing me right in my ribs.
Oh.
So
Listen, that's why you always upgrade.
Be glad it wasn't me sitting next to you. Marcel.
typically I do, but in my old age, I've started going, oh, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you flew like Spirit Air, right?
No, I've
Or
never flown Spirit
Southwest.
Air.
Southwest.
Yeah, I fly Southwest and JetBlue occasionally and stuff, but I've never flown Spirit. That's like just a death wish, flying Spirit.
Pretty close.
I mean, actually, you could say the same about Southwest.
I don't know. Southwest has a really good safety record. Like I lived in
Yeah,
Pembroke
but didn't
Pines.
actually somebody?
No, but hang on a sec. I lived in Pembroke Pines, Florida, when what was the airline called before Spirit? Value Jet crashed like right there. You know, you could see the smoke plume from my house.
But
where the
didn't
plane
actually
crashed.
somebody die on a Southwest Airlines flight by getting almost sucked out the window?
Oh yeah, yeah, but that was one person.
I'm
It's not
just
like it was the whole
saying.
plane. It was just
There
one
are
person.
catastrophes on
Carl
all
O'Grady was on that plane.
But
What?
Spirit is
My
amazing. 'cause
associate
at
Carl was on that plane with the guy getting sucked out the window.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you
she was
imagine
there
that?
for the airport.
well,
Can you
at least
imagine
when
that? Like having a conversation with the person next to you and they go phoop, out the freaking hole in the
He only got his arm
side.
stuck. He only got his arm stuck. It wasn't that bad.
At least when you buy a ticket on
Insane.
Southwest, you get a seat as part of it. On Spirit, you have to buy the seat as optional. And I've always wondered, if you buy the ticket and don't buy the seat, does that mean you're like a strap hanger?
Oh wow.
I never did understand that. I
No,
feel
Marcia,
sick.
it's like the 70s where they had the bar up in first class. You just kind of like stand by the bar.
Well, no, not at all. The 70s, at least you got a drink when you were standing. It was I flew Spirit once. I'm with you, Marcel. It was one time too many. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
Well, I
horrible.
know here in Florida, they always have these crazy, like, you know, I mean, I don't want to sound racist or anything, but there's a certain type of people that are fighting, like punching the flight attendants and stuff at the check-in counter thing for Spirit. Like there's constantly fights at Spirit flights when they're loading the flight because they're not happy with their seats or they're not happy with something. I don't know, but there's constantly crazy fights on the news at Spirit Airlines. I don't know. I'm scared to fly it. Plus, the only plane crash I ever actually saw was Value Jet, which became Spirit. So,
Well, I thought the whole point of Spirit was a cheap airline ticket, and when you added up all of these little incidentals,
yeah,
like your bag and you're this and you're that,
yeah, it's like Ryanair in Europe.
I was better
Ryanair
off
in
with
Europe.
a direct flight from Southwest that included everything and two bags.
Yeah. No,
So
you're
I
right.
still find Southwest to be a better value dollar for dollar.
Well, the other thing is, I have a friend. I don't think he works there anymore, but he worked for United for like 25 years, and he was like the foreman of the guys who fix the planes or something. And he said, "Do not ever fly Spirit Airlines." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because the reason their prices are so cheap is they cut on maintenance. You know, they basically pay people peanuts, and they have half as many guys working on the planes, and you know they're tired and hungover and whatever." He said, "I wouldn't put my enemies
you saw
on
what
that
happened
plane."
with United. I mean, United.
Anyone can have a problem. Obviously, these things are like big metal freaking bombs flying through the air or whatever. But I'd rather have people who do, you know, real maintenance and stuff. And I don't know. Call me stupid. I don't want to die in a freaking in the Everglades on a Spirit Airlines airplane. I just don't.
Not stupid, prudent.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's safer I think they're saying it's safer to fly in an airplane than it is to drive. So
of course it is. Hell yeah, especially in Florida. In Florida, you're risking your life every time you get in a car.
Hey, Matt, I hear that up in your area that the state troopers are pulling over out-of-state tags just to see if you have your COVID credentials. I heard that about an hour ago on the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah, Marty was just on a drive and said that they were pulling people over.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, no.
In New York or New Jersey?
Pardon me?
In New York or New Jersey?
Connecticut.
Were they doing it at the state border?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Connecticut was talking about wanting to do that. I was listening to their governor's press conference the other day.
Yeah.
So is that more with that's Connecticut then?
Yeah, but so the thing is though, like Connecticut has reciprocal with New York State and Massachusetts, so they're not going to pull over anybody from New York and Massachusetts because of the whole, you know, living in different states, working in different states because we're so close together.
Yeah, I know Cuomo said that he wasn't going to do that because it was too taxing on, like, how are you going to pull over every out-of-state driver?
Yeah, there's too many commuters who legitimately work here.
Yeah, the thing is, traffic has been so low that revenue's down. So they're doing a couple things. They're pulling you over to make sure that you have your COVID compliance for coming into the state, but then they're also checking your license, your registration, your inspection, see if there's anything wrong with your car so they can write you a ticket at the same time. It's a cash grab is what it is.
So
Nice.
the
Shocking.
COVID compliance, like what is that?
Like when you're traveling into a different state, every state has their rules about quarantine and things like that. So New York has a mandatory 10-day quarantine when you come into New York from out of state. California, it's a suggested quarantine when you come in from out of state.
Well, I mean, so then you would have to have, so if I were to travel out of state, like if I were to go to Massachusetts to visit family.
You
I
don't
would have
travel
to get-
out of your freaking apartment.
I don't.
It doesn't.
So what are we talking about here, Matt?
But if I wanted to visit family, I would have to get like a COVID test and have that so they could see within the last couple days I tested.
Yeah, it's within 72 hours you have to test.
Yeah. I go to LaGuardia to do that. It's so fast.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I've been-
LaGuardia Terminal
Northwell
B,
Health
they
has been
set up
great.
a whole place. You just drive right up,
Yeah,
within 10 minutes, you're done.
Yeah, now that the holiday rush is over, it's way easier to get a test in New York.
Yeah.
But I'm getting vaccinated on Sunday, so I'm going to be done with tests pretty soon, which is nice.
Nice.
Good times. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Good, Marcel, and you?
I'm okay. Thank you. Do you guys have a trade show this year still or no?
I was going to ask
Yes.
that.
They do.
Yes,
Yes? Are you
November.
confident?
Yes.
Yay, LDI in November. I'm booking my flights. I'm counting on
Yes.
Live trade show. We're confident here.
Trying. We're going
All
full
right.
steam ahead.
All right, listen, I'm
I
going to
mean-
book it all, but if that means it gets canceled, I'm sending all the bills to you.
you. Yeah, you get, well, you know what though? The thing is, that's one of the great things about COVID is there's no cancellation fees for anything anymore. That's the beautiful thing right now anyways, except venues apparently. But Ellen, I spoke to somebody yesterday, and I can't say who it is, but I spoke to somebody yesterday who's about this close to hiring David Johnson.
Oh, great.
So
Over
will
there
be-
in the UK?
I can't say.
Can't talk about it, Matt.
Oh,
I
come on.
can't say.
Give
David,
us a
I
context.
said I
wasn't me,
can't
Marcia.
say. I said I can't say.
He's
It was
already
Jack.
Tease.
I
You
can't
are a
say, but
tease,
I can't
Marcel.
say, but it was Jackie Tien. All right.
Oh,
You
no.
you realize David is just trying to find a way to fill pages for next month.
I know. I know.
Actually,
I
I'm
know.
not.
That's
There's
cool,
no- there's-
David. I'm looking
there's-
for. I'm looking
Matt,
forward.
there's
to
no
getting
money in
another-
filling pages.
David,
there's
I'm
no
looking
money in
forward to
filling
getting a
pages.
layout spread again.
Yes, well, you can.
Every month.
Is the
David-
layout spread like laying down like this?
No, every month.
I'm
Marcel,
mad.
never do that again, please.
Yeah. Topless LDs.
No. Every month I get an email from David that's like, hey, what's the layout spread this month? But he means to send it to another Matt.
Actually, it's my husband, and his initials are MAT. And
Oh,
he prints
goodness.
out the thumbnail for me in the office in the
Got
bedroom.
it. I just respond, yeah, wrong Matt.
I don't know, David. I don't know if you were on one time. I told a story, but when I hired Jamie Martis to move from California to Florida to be my head of technical, whatever it was at the time, and Jamie was trying to send some weird porno thing to our receptionist, Adrian, and sent it to Adrian Gurman.
Oh,
It didn't go extremely well. I get a call from Adrian Gurman and she goes, who the fuck is Jamie Martis?
HR.
And why is he sending me some picture of some woman's And I'm like, I don't know. You want me to ask him?
All the
You want me to
people he
fire
could have
him? What do you
sent
want me
it
to
to.
do? Yeah, what do you want me to
Oh
do?
my God.
Well, I
That's
mean,
hilarious.
at least it was her and not some people that could have really got me in trouble, I guess. But
Adrian can take the joke for sure.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
You've made my day.
yeah, that
David
was fun.
Johnson. Well, I hope he gets a job and joins us on here.
Yeah.
Although it's pretty late.
Well, I mean,
in the day.
he certainly deserves a job. You know, David's a good
Yeah, good
guy,
one.
Yeah.
and
Good job.
yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, one of the problems in marketing is that marketing's very different today than it was when we, and so I don't know, like that's the problem that I think David Johnson is up against is that marketing is all about digital marketing now. And some of those things we don't necessarily understand, even if we're pretty up on it. And I like to think I'm pretty up on digital marketing, but
Right.
some of
he's in
it's
the
beyond
wrong
me. Like I
place.
still don't get Snapchat. I don't get it.
That's
like
gone.
it just
That doesn't even exist anymore. Now it's
You want to
Clubhouse
bet?
and
You don't have a 16-year-old son, apparently.
Snapchat
No, but-
absolutely exists.
No, but now
So-
it's now it's a
Clubhouse.
club for us, our
No, but-
generation. It's Clubhouse.
No, but
and
listen to me for a
TikTok.
second, Ellen. Listen to me for a second. So I showed my son Clubhouse last week, and I said,
Yeah.
"Look, isn't this cool?" And he goes, "Dad, that's like Discord for old people."
Oh, geez.
So I was
That was
so-
like the latest, honest.
Right,
It's
right.
Discord for old people. And
So
and I'm trying to work Discord because I got this TV app thing and their support is on Discord. And it's bizarre. Like I don't get Discord, right? But he says it's Discord for old people. And I just went, what the hell is going on?
So
I
Chris
think I know
Loest-
what I'm doing, but I don't.
Chris Loest had a LD at Large podcast on Clubhouse today. So
We
that
don't
was
talk
really-
about that. We don't talk about Chris Lowe's podcast.
No, but Laura Frank
Smart,
did a
Marcel.
Laura Frank had a room on there today.
Yeah, I
I
saw
was
that.
just in it. Ellen, were you in it?
Yes, I was in Laura Frank's room today.
Okay, that's why I was.
I was in
late.
I was in the group with you. People followed by panelists.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
group called panelists, then there was a group called people followed by panelists, and then there was
It says Ellen.
random
You
people.
need more unique names.
It
Yeah,
but
Ellen,
he was,
Clubhouse.
that was-
Clubhouse is weird.
he was talking about how it's going to be kind of weird when we go back to work because there won't be any after show hangs. Everyone will go back to their hotel room, drink, and be on Clubhouse talking to each other. And I was like, I hope it's not like that. He was
I
like,
don't think it will
Circle
be.
Bar is going to
No.
be
I
on
think
Clubhouse.
That's
gonna
not
be
right.
okay.
Chris Lowe's world versus like actual social people is a dramatically different thing.
Yeah, yeah. I want to invite Chris Lowe's into the why steak is better than cauliflower room on Clubhouse.
Right.
I wonder if he'll come.
I actually
that
love how
Tuesday?
Herrick just goes to town on every post that Chris.
Which one?
Chris and I actually had a meeting yesterday, and we're friends. We have a project we're doing together. It's great, but he just knows he's an evangelical for veganism, and I'm an evangelical
Yeah.
for. So, fuck it.
I want to
Well,
tomahawk
and-
right now.
No, the thing is for me is I don't care what you eat, and I don't want you to care what I eat. Period. That's it. Like I don't want Chris Lowe's going, you bastard, how dare you eat a chicken? Chickens deserve to live. You know? I mean, leave me alone, dude. Eat what you want to eat. I'll eat what I want to eat. How's that? Good?
Well, somebody
Yeah,
posted today, if you can get hamburgers made out of vegetables, why can't you get broccoli made out of ground beef?
That's a good one. I like that.
Genetically grow that.
That's a good one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Hello.
There she is.
Hi, I know I'm kind of late. But I'm looking at my schedule. Amway Center has sports till June, and they start up concerts. It says July 28 with Dude Perfect, and it goes through like December. And
So Lynn, can I ask you a question about that though?
yeah,
Who the fuck is Dude Perfect?
I don't know, but they must be big enough to book an arena, and it's a
That's good.
reschedule show.
Wait, does anyone know? You know who knows? Anthony
really big on
Cahill.
Discord.
Anthony Cahill knows who Dude Perfect is. Please
Dude
tell us.
Perfect?
Because he's like 20.
They're a bunch of guys who film videos doing crazy sports and such, and they have several million YouTube followers.
So it's
Oh,
YouTube.
they're
Yeah.
YouTubers.
Fucking-
Yeah. So
But
are they
they-
gonna like fight Jake Paul at some point?
I don't know. I unsubscribed to them quite a while ago.
Oh, okay.
fact that you subscribe to them in the first place scares me.
Like Harry Styles is rebooked, and Lauren Daigle, and Luke Combs, and
But has
Enrique-
anyone checked with the artists like on their website to see if they actually announced these shows?
Like, have you booked flights, artist?
I
Right.
don't know. I mean, I could look, but
Well, no, Lynn, we were just talking like Jones Beach announced
yeah,
this
those
whole lineup of shows, but the
yeah,
websites
the
do
Tampa
not have.
Shed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything for that. But
Hey, Anthony
it's work.
Kale, let's
Well,
do an
the dude's
an
perfect pic-
on-screen unboxing of whatever's in that Amazon box right now. Come on. What is it?
What?
Oh, it's the Astera.
Oh,
I
Astera
got a
light
few
bulbs.
more. Yeah,
There you
these are
go.
my 3 and 4 Astera bulbs.
Nice.
Are they
The
cheaper than Philips Hue? That's the question.
Oh no! They are a lot more than Philips Hues.
Oh.
Take a Titan tube and price it out that you're buying half of a Titan tube, and
Yeah.
divide it by 4.
Half of a Titan tube divided by 4. This is like a math quiz from 7th grade or something. Fucking give us the price, damn it. What the hell are you doing? Take a Titan tube, split it in half, and
My
divide it by
Canadian
4.
price is going to be much different than your American price.
Well, so then we divide it by half again.
Yeah, about that.
It's like a math equation. It's really difficult.
Welcome to how Canadians feel on buying gear.
Herrick, go find a book and figure this out, will you? Give us the number.
It's an eighth. You're really not good at math, huh?
No, but then it's converted from Canadian to American.
Does that have to do with
and
the tax?
No,
I'm
the
actually
conversion
quite
built
good at
in.
math.
Doesn't matter. He was doing.
Diana, I'm having a conversation over here with Herrick. All right.
Oh.
And then mute for the rest of it.
Diana will come to Florida and cut you. I hope.
Oh,
you know.
I know that. I know that for sure. I was just kidding, Diana. I'm just joking. Sorry.
I thought that was his first step in the divided by half and then convert thing. I thought that was step 1 of his math.
Kind of is. Kind of is.
Regardless, it's the same. It's all relative. If you know what you
But
think.
basically, it's a $40 light bulb, right? Ish.
I'm guessing 90.
Probably like
I'm going to say triple digits.
25 US.
How much?
125 if
Yep,
that's
triple
what the
digits.
current exchange rate is.
Anthony, what are you, fucking stupid? What are you doing buying a $125 light bulb? What are you doing with that?
I have rentals for them.
Rentals. People rent light bulbs.
Do you know if William F. White's up here? I feel like you would know who William F. White's is.
I do. Yes, I do.
They have 6,000 of these, and they're all out on
Well,
rentals. at
now
the
they have 5,996.
They're all out on rentals.
What?
Yeah.
Who rents light bulbs?
There is currently 10,000 Astera tubes in Toronto, and they currently cannot rent one.
No, Astera tubes, I understand, but
These
light
are
bulbs,
just
I
as
don't.
popular as Astera tubes in Toronto.
Seriously.
Because they're DMX controlled, right? Not like the Philips Hue.
They're wireless.
They're color calibrated for TV. You can adjust the refresh rate. There are 5 colors.
Yeah, but what
minutes
light
on,
fixture
something.
accepts a A19 light bulb?
The ones that have a USB socket on them.
Okay.
I can power this off my laptop if I want to.
That's awesome. But what show has a laptop with, A19 light bulbs hanging off a USB cable? I don't know of any. This is a weird product to me. It's like a Philips Hue.
That I used to work with before COVID hit is currently managing a show with 100 of these.
Oh, is he?
There.
Looks like something, like Kevin Adams would use, or Mark Janowitz, or people might like something like that. You could have
it's like the hanging bear light bulb kind of vibe that everyone's doing.
Exactly.
I don't know.
This wonderful thing lets me run DMX to my light bulbs from 1,000 feet away. So
yeah, that's the Astera wireless. Awesome.
So I could be at my neighbor's house and turn on the desk lamp next to my bed.
With your console.
Have it in magenta. Awesome. For 125
I
bucks.
have one in my. Hang on. Let's see if I charged it. It is dead. Never mind.
One of the most beautiful effects
Even
I've
more
ever
awesome.
seen was they replaced the house lights in over in one of the shows for the National Theater with this sort of undulating sea of bulbs, and you thought it was just incandescents, but what they did is they
An
they
undulating
mapped.
sea of bulbs.
Well,
That's
but
awesome.
they mapped moving clouds to this. And so what you got was the effect of clouds moving overhead through this sea of what you thought was originally just light bulbs. And anybody who's a layman would think, how did they, get the bulbs to blah, blah, blah. But for us, we know it was just mapped, and it was gorgeous.
That's cool.
It was
Yeah, it
gorgeous.
sounds so cool. I like that.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a market for $125 A19 light bulbs.
In cyan,
I don't know.
magenta, and yellow.
Used ones.
Clearly, there is a market for it, or they wouldn't be producing and selling them.
Well, let's face it, our industry has produced some, I remember one time Craig Burrows said to me, every once in a while, everyone kicks out a turd.
Right.
That was a perfect line. We were sitting in Dean Danowitz's office, and I just started working for High End. And Dean goes, Craig, this Nebula hazer is a piece of shit. And he goes, well, Dean, every now and then everyone kicks out a turd. And I just freaking died laughing. Craig was my trainer. I had apprentice or something on my little name tag.
Thanks for that. Thanks for bringing those memories back, Marcel.
That was the best line ever. I'll never forget that line.
Speaking about good gear, however, did everybody watch the Steve Terry interview with David Cunningham yesterday?
Negative.
Oh,
could you post it, please?
It is. I'll put a link here. It is really interesting.
That would be interesting.
Dave Cunningham is sitting in a room with gold drapes and some nude statues and says, "This is the room where I worked on the optics."
Of course.
That's awesome. Mickey's leaving. See you, Mickey.
Nice meeting you.
Mickey freaking Kirbishley. So Mickey's dad, for those of you who don't know him, Marcia, Mickey's dad was the manager for Led Zeppelin.
And the Who.
And the Who. And the Who. I mean, notorious tough guy. You didn't fuck with Mickey's dad.
Right.
And I mean, just if anyone's going to be your dad, Mickey's dad is a pretty cool dude. So
definitely, you could say he cut his teeth on rock and roll, eh?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's some crazy stories. There's some crazy stories about his dad. Oh, did you post that?
I'm going to. Hold on one second. I'm looking for them.
All right.
YouTube share.
All right.
Here's the YouTube share.
Lynn, why are there two of you in here?
Okay, I'm trying to figure that out because I started.
Is this like an ego thing? I want.
No, I started in the kitchen with my iPad, and now I'm trying to get my iPad to get off of Zoom, but I'm having trouble for some reason.
You know what works really well? You go like this, bang, and it's gone. It's off.
But I did actually make a drink for tonight for National Margarita Day, which was actually.
That was a few days ago because I remember I got drunk right before my flight on margaritas and I didn't feel so good.
Well, cheers. Today's Purim. We can drink to Esther.
Yeah. Today's what?
Cheers.
Purim.
What's that mean?
Where you make noise.
Purim.
Jewish
It's a
holiday.
Jewish Halloween.
Make a lot of noise.
Jewish Halloween.
Got a lot of Queen Esther.
You freaking Jewish people, you
compete
with you compete with the freaking Chinese for so many holidays. It's unbelievable. I'm Catholic. We only got 2, Easter and Christmas, right? That's it.
Oh, you got
you got the ashes and palms.
Assumption, and you got a lot of them. You got the resurrection.
You guys have so many more.
Ellen is right.
I'm going to convert. I'm converting.
You're converting because you want 8 days of presents, Marcel. Let's be real.
That's it. I want 8 days of presents. I want to say, hey, today is, whatever day. That's what I want.
You want to be able to make noise whenever someone says Haman. You go, you make a lot of noise.
Somebody send him a box of Hamantaschen, will you?
What?
A box of what?
Hamantaschen. The cookies that you eat for Purim. They represent Heyman's hats. They're try.
You live in Florida. How do you not know this?
I don't know anything you're talking about. You guys are speaking freaking.
They're jelly cookies, and they're awesome.
They're awesome. We
They
should
don't
have sent them to
jelly.
everybody, Marcia.
Somehow
I know.
they have all
I know,
different
like
kinds of
matzo
orders.
balls.
By default.
I know matzo balls, and challah. That's it. That's all I know.
Challah.
You got Friday
And
night
matzo
down.
balls.
That's it. That's all I got.
You got
So
Friday
you
night
got-
down with that, Marcel. Purim
That
is a
was
fun
a-
holiday.
These aren't
Wait,
bad.
is Pastrami Jewish?
Yes.
It's New York Jewish.
All right.
Stage
So I know
jelly,
pastrami
yes.
too. See? Look at that. Can I be welcomed?
How about those pancakes? You like potato pancakes?
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
You like brisket?
Mm.
Marcel,
so
do you like
much.
brisket?
I don't really eat beef.
Oh.
I don't eat red meat.
What? Mommy is beef.
You were
I
just
don't.
complaining about the vegans yelling at you.
No, but because I don't like being fucking yelled at.
You're like a communist if you don't eat beef.
That's it. That's it.
Stop yelling.
Yeah, I don't like being yelled at. No.
Have you ever known Marcel not to yell, though? Let's be real.
Well, what are they yelling at you for if you're not eating beef?
Eats chicken.
Chicken, frickin' anything else, a salmon, God forbid, which I'm making right now in the sous vide thing that Chris McMean told me how to do.
Yeah.
That's right. I met a vegan the other day who ordered scallops in a restaurant. And I said, excuse me, but I thought you were vegan. So she said, well, I am, but I eat anything that doesn't have eyes.
Scallops must have eyes. They gotta have
Well,
eyes
but-
somewhere.
But not like visibly, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise they just swim around and bump into stuff. They gotta have eyes.
No, they're in a shell.
Somebody Google, do scallops have eyes?
No, they're in a shell like mussels and clams.
Yeah, none of you guys watch the true facts about animals videos. I mean, come on.
Wait, hang on. Greg Brunclick's here. He'll know. Do scallops have eyes? Greg.
Need a silence.
Greg doesn't have
Greg.
ears.
Hey, Greg, do scallops have eyes?
Ask Siri.
You got to turn your mic on. We need to
I
know.
suppose
You
she
got a
knows
boat.
it.
You got a boat. You must know this,
They
Greg.
have up to 200 tiny eyes.
Wow. I
See, they
better
got a
not
lot
tell
of
her.
eyes.
She'll
They don't
never
just
order
have
them
eyes.
again.
They got a whole shitload of them.
I'm not going to tell her. She'll never eat them again.
So your Ellen, your friend sounds like I have a friend
They
who
got 200 eyes. She sinned like 100
Right.
times over. Yeah, shame on her. Bad vegan.
I'm not
Shame
going to
on
tell
you.
her.
Bad vegan.
That's
bad
hilarious. That's so funny.
Well, that's like another friend of mine who's supposedly totally totally kosher, totally kosher. And we go to the sushi restaurant and I order some kind of shrimp thing. And the first thing she does is grab it off the table. I said, Bonnie, that was shrimp. So she goes, I know, I'm only kosher at home.
That's hilarious.
Why bother? It's such a hassle.
Well, her husband insists on a kosher kitchen. So she tries to get around it when they go out. Like, Michael, don't watch, I'm eating the shrimp.
So I remember in the very early, see you, Jeff. Peace, brother. I remember in the really early days of LED, the one of the founders of Home Depot, I forget his name. What are the founders of Home Depot? Anyone? The one who lives in Boca in a massive house. I forget his name.
Mr. Home and Mr. Depot?
Yeah.
Who? No, it wasn't any of those.
like
No.
Berman or something.
Anyways, so we provided all the LEDs for his house. And at some point during the construction of his house, they stopped everything because his son married, I guess a very, I don't know, by the rules Jewish girl. And they had to do 2 kitchens because the son or the daughter-in-law refused to whatever. I don't know. It was some crazy shit. So we had to change everything and change all the lighting and stuff. But, this massive, like 30,000 square foot house had 2 totally separate massive kitchens that either one of them was to die for, right?
One for milk and one for meat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I cook milk and meat in the same kitchen.
Yeah, but you're
You're
not,
not a
kosher.
Jew.
They
You're
were
not
named
kosher, you're
Bernard
not Jewish.
Marcus. Does one of these names ring a bell?
Marcus, yeah, Bernie
Bernard
Marcus. Bernie Marcus.
Yeah, okay.
Bernie Marcus. That's who it was. Thank you.
Got the Google queen with us.
Yeah. Usually that's
Well, I didn't
Angie.
want him to go to bed tonight wondering what that guy's name was all night, you know?
Yeah, Bernie Marcus. I mean, it was an unbelievable house. But it was funny because now they probably sell $1 gazillion in LEDs, and I sold them the LEDs for his house.
Right.
Because at the time, Home Depot didn't sell LED yet. So,
You
yeah.
should have gotten the contract.
Oh, hang on. Did everyone read this thing about scallop eyes, which function similar to telescopes
Yes.
or even more complex than scientists previously knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
On the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew scallops weren't just like going around the ocean, bumping into reefs and stuff, going, "Oh, I wish I could see. I wish I could see. I wish I could see." They can see. They have
What about
eyes.
clams and mussels? They live in shells. Do they have all those eyes?
Of
too?
course they do. Come
They
on.
must.
Somebody Google it.
I'm not doing
Uh-oh.
fish. aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Who is Pimp Phone? Pimp iPhone. PMP iPhone. Who is that?
Probably Dearson.
It's not. Dearson's too he's got too much of an ego. He wouldn't hide. Pimp
Is that on
iPhone.
here?
I don't know who that is.
Is it here? Is it on here?
It's
let it
Peter, but I'm driving.
Oh, Peter
Peter
Morse.
Morse.
P.
Hey,
Who's
Peter.
the P? What's the P in Peter Morse P iPhone?
Productions. That's the company, but
Oh,
some
there
people-
you go. I get it.
some
now.
people call it pimp. You know, what can I say?
I just saw
Pimpmobile.
Pimp iPhone. I was like, yeah, who dat?
Is the weather better out there? Last time we spoke, you were in a blizzard.
We got 3.5 feet in one night about 2 weeks ago. It's all gone now. Well, the streets are clear. And no, it's like 45 degrees here right now, which is like spring for us.
Did you go to the hockey game last weekend, Peter?
No, nobody could go to it, although I had a few friends who were working at, the crew, but it was better to watch on TV.
That was so unbelievable on TV. Like that background with the lake and the mountains, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
There was an outdoor hockey game at
Edgewood Golf
last
Course
weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, that
on
was
the 18th
killer.
green right off the beach. And
Like all the ice.
So
I knew
cool.
at the start they were going to be in trouble on the 20th because the sun
Yeah.
got warm and the ice was getting like slush. So they
Yeah.
postponed the rest of the game until the evening.
Yeah, they
Wow.
started it back up at like midnight or something.
Yeah, well, midnight
Eastern
East Coast.
time. Yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Back
so
in the
beautiful.
days
Though.
when
It
I
looked
was
amazing.
Back in the days when I was a speed skater, in those days we competed long track. Short track was still indoors, but long track was outdoors. And when we had the sun up, we knew we were in trouble because the ice was slow and slushy.
Yeah.
So when I saw that during their practice, I said, "This isn't going to last," and it didn't.
Yeah. Funny.
That is funny.
So
Well,
what else?
I got where I'm going. I'll tune out and I'll try and tune in before you guys get off. Oh, how long are you going here today?
Not that long.
I may miss you then. I'll tune in next week. Are you going back to
Thank you,
Wednesdays
Peter.
next week?
Yes.
Going back to, okay.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
y'all soon.
We'll see you,
Take care.
Peter. Thanks,
Pimp.
buddy.
Pimp out.
Pimp out.
Pimp out.
That's pretty
Pimp out.
funny.
Pump up.
It's good to see
That
you.
That's
is
pretty.
I gotta go.
Where you
Eric.
going?
Hey, Eric. Good to see you.
You too.
You going
Bye.
out to dinner?
No, I got work.
Oh,
Bullshit.
do you
You're
live in a
playing like
house? Where
video
do you
game or
live,
something.
actually? Eric,
I
where do
in
you
Brooklyn,
live?
in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn.
An apartment
It's a condo, yeah.
with a basement?
Yes.
Well, that's cool.
One day when you're actually back in New York, we'll get you over here.
Absolutely.
The
We
wife-
don't have
What
to
about
meet-
me?
you know,
What
that-
about
that's
me,
fine.
Eric?
Sure, Marcel.
All right.
We love Republicans. Whatever you are this week.
Whatever I am this week. What are you this week?
Ask Josh Hutchings what it's like being down in my basement drinking whiskey, arguing with 4 lawyers about gun control. Bring it.
Oh dear.
Oh, he enjoyed himself.
I'm fine with lawyers.
Yeah, so much so he had to quarantine himself in a hotel when he got home.
Well, it was 2 years
How is
ago
he-
before COVID. So
Oh, okay.
Eric used to have his cookies and booze parties.
Yeah.
anyway,
All right, nice to see you, Eric. See you soon.
bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Greg, how you doing?
Good, all things
Yeah?
considered, you know.
Yeah. Surviving?
Yeah. Just hoping for a sunny day one of these days. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sunny, literally sunny, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's coming back. I mean,
Hey, didn't, wasn't there
I-
just a headline about England opening up for concerts July 21st?
Yeah,
Okay,
we were
I
talking
thought-
about that. We were talking
Okay.
about that before you got on.
Okay, good.
And you know, it's a positive sign. I mean, I was mentioning, you know, John Featherstone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke with John yesterday, and he said that he's got a friend of his in England who, as soon as that was announced, he started applying for permits for a show and was turned down 4 times. So they haven't quite figured it out completely. It was more of a political announcement than it was like a real plan.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll catch up to the
Gee,
political
where
announcement.
have we seen that before, huh?
Yeah, never, not once. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, you know, all the numbers are dropping so dramatically, and you know, signs are all positive, and I just feel like it's imminent at this point that you know, every state, I think, from their own people is getting a lot of pressure to open up and get things back moving forward and get back to some level of normal. So
Well, they're saying now 2022 we're going to be wearing masks.
that's bullshit. That's just Fauci saying that. Everybody else says Fauci's an idiot.
He's not.
Are you kidding?
He's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot. He's just being cautious. And it is going to get better. Marcel's right about that. It's going to start to get exponentially better.
You know
I
what
think so.
They just found a new New York State variant that just
Well,
happened.
then
that
fine,
is-
we'll put a wall around New York State and the rest of us will have a party. How's
What's
that?
with you in walls?
In Wisconsin, we haven't had a single death in like 4 or 5 days in a row now. So
Well, that's good.
That's cool.
It's good.
it's cool for sure.
Probably
Progress.
better than pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But so who wants to talk about Cuomo? That guy's had a bad week.
He has had a
Really
very
bad
bad
week.
week.
He's had a shitty week.
Really bad.
Yeah.
week. Oh
Like,
my God.
I wouldn't want to be him right now. You know, it's just a bad week.
I mean,
You can explain away a lot of
Oh,
things,
wow.
but when they start piling on like that, it's like, ooh.
well, I mean, besides I heard about the sexual whatever thing, but there were 6 or 7 people that were there that said there was nothing of the such. And this woman is just trying
Shocking.
to posture herself.
That's shocking that 6 or 7 people said that.
Shocking.
I don't know.
Listen, they
The
always
truth-
got to, if a person handles something the right way, they always got to tarnish it somehow. So I think he did pretty damn good here in New York.
He did, Matt, but
Whoa.
somebody in his office is gonna fall on the sword for the whole nursing home thing.
But here's the thing.
I know.
This is what I don't understand. He never lied about the numbers. The numbers were always consistent. They just didn't specify whether it was in a nursing home or not, and they were
Oh
following.
boy, Matt, really?
It's public
Matt,
perception.
really? Matt, you
whether-
need to.
What's
it's
wrong
all
with
public
that?
perception. The
You need
public
to-
Marcel,
lied.
Marcel, if you really want to go
Holy
there, let's
shit.
talk about your governor.
Yeah,
like,
Marcel, you're in no place to talk
you
about governor.
cannot
My
talk about
governor's
your governor.
Good. My
He was
governor's
doing
good.
raids on scientists' houses. Let's talk
Where
about it.
Awesome. My governor's
Yeah, but-
just fine.
Matt, I get
Holy
what you're
Christ.
saying.
You cannot be defending
We're gonna
Cuomo
do
right now.
politics on the happy hour.
No, but I was just being silly. But I mean, nobody can defend this guy right now. This guy's going down fast.
What? I don't
And
understand
deserves
what
it.
the
He
issue is.
deserves it. You
I don't
understand
what
the issue with
is.
Cuomo. Are you serious, Matt?
What's the issue?
Somebody else jump in and tell Matt what the issue is with Cuomo right now, because
I agree. I agreed with Matt. I completely agreed with him until I found out that they wouldn't. He forced the nursing homes to take COVID people.
No, but what he was following DOJ guidance, which was from the president. Okay, number one. Let me finish, Marcel.
Stop. Come on.
Let me finish.
Matt.
Let me finish.
On.
I'm just listen. I don't really care either way, but I'm just telling you what the
People
facts
are dying. You should care.
People are dying in Florida too.
No, but we have way more old people, and a lot less old people are dying in Florida than they are in New York.
Yeah, because we got it before you did.
No, Matt, come on.
That's
I mean, we have to at least accept the reality that's in our face right now, which is this guy lied. He misrepresented the numbers on purpose.
He did.
You know, he made a lot of weird, funky political moves that cost a lot of people their lives, and that's sad. You know, if I'd be really pissed off if I had family that went through this process where they were, you know, in those homes where people were put in knowing they had COVID and people died as a result. That's bad. That's just wrong.
Now,
whether that's a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian, I don't give a shit who that is. That person is bad.
Sure. So. But what you need to, what I have discovered in my research on this whole thing is that the nursing homes had to section off COVID patients, right? They had to keep everybody, you know, in their separate ways. But what they discovered is
that didn't work.
It was asymptomatic transmission from people who worked at the nursing homes.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we should change the topic because I'm just saying there are two sides. Agree with you on this one.
There are two sides to every story.
Here's a change of topic.
No politics, because
two sides to every story.
Fingers at each other. And honestly, I live in the state of Florida, and I don't think our governor is doing as stellar job as you do, Marcel. We're both entitled to our own opinion, but I thought the point of happy hour was to be happy and not bring politics into it.
I'm with you.
Here's something, you guys. Harry Styles has his whole tour on his
I can't see your phone, Lynn.
Oh, well, Harry Styles has, I don't know why you can't see it.
It's your virtual background.
Okay, well.
We can't even see you. You're gone.
Yes, you now. You've gone into the vinyl.
Right. The British millennial.
Anyway, the British millennial, that's going to be a big tour, whether you like it or not. And he's got all his tour dates on his official webpage.
Cool.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. They'll be in Madison Square Gardens on October 3rd and Orlando on October 7th.
Is there any capacity notes on that? Are they doing full capacity?
You'd have to ask me that question. Hold on.
And who's the vendor for that?
Which vendor?
Is that a Solitech gig?
No, I don't know if it's going to list that.
Well, no, I wouldn't list it on his website, but anyone here, do they know?
I'm checking on Madison Square Garden, October 3rd. They're already doing American Express pre-sale. Oh, not yet. But you can buy tickets for the public, can buy tickets already. Oh, tickets are sold out. Never mind.
They're probably only selling 50% right now.
But there's an ad for this Saturday for Andrea Bocelli live at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida.
Really?
It's this week?
Yeah, Saturday night, it says.
Yeah, that goes.
No, those are going to go. I mean, that's the thing. Like in Florida, we're going to have all kinds of shows. I'm surprised nobody from Nashville has packaged like a festival show in Florida. Florida and Texas, we're going to see little mini tours and we're going to see festivals very, very soon, especially in sheds.
Our capacity.
It's just going to happen. Look, this is really important.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
Oh, jeez.
I don't blame them.
No, that's not
who wants to listen to that nonsense?
Oh, no.
It was on CNN, Lynn.
That's terrible. Poor guy.
And he crashed because of that?
I don't know. Somebody just sent it to me, so I thought I better put it up.
So did anybody watch?
I
the
haven't
product-
fact checked it.
This is to change the subject, but did
Yeah.
anybody watch the product launch yesterday for the Roscoe Pocket LED kit?
Thing's cool. It's really cool.
Is it?
Having one.
What does it
Was
do?
a live event?
It's
I didn't see it.
They're little like it's kind of like what GLP did with their thing.
Oh, like a Zoom light?
Yeah, but it's full spectrum, and you can use your iMix app that you use with the Mixbook to do things, and you could have like a set. It's for like if you're filming something in a small space to like add fill light and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Like in a car?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like it's battery operated, similar to the Astera product, just with the Roscoe color mixing engine. And yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
Too bad Ann just left the group. She could have told us all about it.
I just posted in the chat. I think that link should work.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah,
No problem.
they fit in the palm of your hand. Like they're that small.
Oh.
Well, if you've been using a Mixbook on your desk for like Zoom meetings, it kind of makes a little more sense because
yeah,
it's a little flatter of a field than the Mixbook. And the Mixbook,
this thing is pretty directional.
yeah, but it's a great tool. It's fun. Yeah, so it's supposed to not be as spotty as that. So it looks cool, but it's Roscoe putting out LED technology, which is just interesting to me every time they try. So
You weren't a fan of those panels, those little flat, super flat things?
some of that, yeah, I mean, I think those were pretty good. And they went into that whole, some of their fixtures, I think they're grasping at some things. They just gave up their whole scenic line for stage breaks and all those kind of things, hinges and hinge pins.
They go to City Theatrical? City Theatrical?
At Alcon, maybe?
BMI.
Oh,
BMI, right. BMI. I saw that press release. Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. So they dumped their line that they've had forever and came.
But they weren't producing that. They were just the middleman, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have to go. Always fun.
Thanks, Evan. That was helpful info.
You well. See you soon.
See you, Evan.
See you, Evan.
Yeah, the Roscoe thing, you can go on their website and they're doing another launch at some point and you could register to win a free one. So
Cool.
Look at this. Anthony's up and running and he's doing a whole show for us.
Know,
Mark
right?
frickin' Fetto. Better late than never, right?
I've been watching seminars at the live production LPS conference. It's going on today and tomorrow.
How is it?
It's actually some pretty interesting stuff.
Oh, good.
And I don't say that just because OSA is broadcasting it, but it's it's good people and lots of interesting things about what people think about what's going on in the future and where everything's headed and all that.
What'd they say?
Give us a 15-second synopsis.
We're screwed until 22.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No, the opening on Saturday night.
The big guys aren't doing anything till 2022, but there's going to be a lot of stuff, and it's not going to be like flipping a switch. It's all going to ramp up, and everybody's going to be taking baby steps and getting it up, to where we're back.
Yeah, that part I believe.
And
I'm with Mark. I don't think we're gonna see any large scale tours like we're used to. I think it's gonna be small. I mean,
part of that problem is there's no national, plan for opening or how many people or all that. So just because Florida's open, you can't do a tour of Florida.
Yeah.
Well, you could do Florida and Arizona probably, but that's just not going to be enough to,
What about Texas?
What's the party line on festivals, though?
I heard that all the festivals in Europe have been canceled for this year.
Except for Reading and Leeds.
They just announced in Reading and
Ready?
places-
Yeah, there's, you know,
But
They're gonna
Ultra
try-
canceled, Sweetwater canceled, all the US festivals are canceling.
it's,
That's
you know, you know, they're looking at the fall, and it was kind of interesting. John Brown was on one of the panels, and he's saying he's lost 50% of his employees since this happened that aren't coming back, that have found other work. And that seemed to be a general consensus that, you know, we're going to be, when this does come back, you know, fortunately, it's not going to be a flip switch.
One of the things I said, Mark, at the beginning of the call was, you know, what's the reasoning? And you know, is it because we can't safely do a show anymore, or is it because of now it's other reasons? So is it, you know, it doesn't fit Live Nation's business or liability?
It's liability and insurance right now. You can't get these, there's insurance companies aren't willing to underwrite these.
Yeah, but why are sporting events going off then?
Yeah, but it's all at limited capacity.
Because we have nobody
20,000 in football games.
Out of
20,000, that was in
68 or
Florida.
70,000.
What's that?
What's that?
I said out of 68 or 70,000 capacity though. Like at the arena, we're doing 4,000 for a Magic game where 17 is the rule.
Well, today I spent 3.5 hours next to a person who was about this far from my head, and then another one about this far from me in the front of me, and another one about this far from me behind
Marcel,
me.
that's different.
On an airplane. No, it's not. I mean, every
airflow
time
on
I've
an
ever gotten sick, every time I've ever gotten sick is on the plane on my way somewhere. I
But-
always get sick on airplanes.
But the
It's
air
the worst place
filters,
to be.
the air filters on an airplane they've changed them out for the HEPA.
Yeah, it's much better.
And they're still designed to handle like when people were smoking on airplanes. So
yeah,
it is
but I'm telling you right now, Matt, I would rather be in an arena or a stadium with 100,000 people than on that airplane that I was on today. I think it's safer. I think it's probably a much better place to be. And I would rather be in a football stadium or a hockey arena completely full to the max than that airplane that I was on today.
But they're not going to
wear masks in the arenas.
Oh, yes, you do. In fact, there's I'd say 10% of the people that I work with on the club level, they just don't get it. And it's like, I'm like a Uber babysitter now, which is not what I've done for the last 10 years, you know, there, but that's tacked on to everything else that we do. And, but now you get 2 strikes, the third one, the second strike is an NBA red card they give you saying, we're kicking you out if we have to talk to you again. And the next one is the ejection. And they're not kidding. They're not kidding.
I mean, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like sporting events are different from concerts, whereas it costs a lot more to put a concert on than it does to do a sporting event.
You still have the same amount of employees in the arena, a couple thousand for the Amway Center, no matter what's going on in there. And you still have the same lights, electricity.
No, but I'm saying
staging.
for a production. But I'm saying for a production, for a promoter to put on a concert, to do something at 4,000 capacity when they're used to selling 70,000, it's just not cost effective.
No, but you couldn't do 4,000 capacity in a place that is meant to do 70,000. You couldn't.
But
I mean, you just couldn't pull that off.
Yeah, but somebody also said it's like, well, I don't know why they're doing sporting events, but they're not doing concerts. And I think
television. No, it's television.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still
all the revenue for football comes from television.
Yeah,
racing comes from television. You know, most of those sports come from television.
NBA for sure, MLB
television
for sure.
Yeah. So
hockey.
Yeah, they can get away with no fans and all that.
They're
stuff,
letting fans in to see the Golden Knights for the first time in over a year.
How many?
Monday night, and I think it's 2,500 in a 18,000. Normally, they're sold out every night at 18,300 something.
Yeah, here I think we're 6,700 right now for hockey. So
And then today I got a notice saying that my tickets are ready for me to pick up for the NASCAR race. And I don't even know how many people they're letting in for it, but.
Well, here I think Daytona, what was Daytona, Cosmo?
Well, it normally seats 100,000. They let in 30,000. So I mean, the last 3 weeks, I mean, I've been to 3 NASCAR races. I've been to 2 concerts in Orlando and Daytona Beach.
Have you switched to Budweiser now too?
Bud Light.
Wow, 3 NASCAR races. Damn, dude.
Well, I go every year. I usually go to all the races, but I wanted to go this year because there was going to be less people. It was great because it wasn't, so the traffic wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But you know, last 2 weeks ago today, I went to a show in Orlando. It's called the Ace Cafe. It's a like a biker themed restaurant, and they had a stage out back in the parking lot, and Buck Cherry played, and there was probably 800, 1,000 people there maybe, and some of it was social distancing. Some people were wearing masks, but the people in front of the stage were jammed up, drinking, having a good time, not wearing masks. I went to Daytona the next night. Buck Cherry did a show there it's called Destination Daytona, which is a big pavilion, and there was probably about the same 800 to 1,000 people, and there was probably 200 or 300 people just mashed up at the front of the stage like at a regular concert, and then other people were kind of social distance. And you know, it's happening. The venues are being able to do it. The band decided to do 4 shows, and they did one in Fort Lauderdale, one in Tampa at Janice Landing, one in Orlando, and one in Daytona, and then they went home. All the guys are okay. One of the
you know
guys,
what I just learned from all that though?
What's that?
You can do a tour in Florida.
No, you know what I learned from all that, Cosmo? Buck Cherry can't draw more than 1,000 people.
Oh.
That's what I just learned. My good friend Jonathan Brightman, JB, was the original bass player in Buck Cherry. He was like one of the founding 4 members of Buck Cherry, and I forget the singer's name, but he got in such a. So they did a massive gig in Detroit, like when they were huge, and he basically left after the gig. He went and took his amp and his bass out of the freaking truck and left, rented a car and left, and that was it. Josh and him didn't get along very well. Josh pulled a basic rock star move. He walked into rehearsals one day. I think they were recording their second album or something, and he walked into rehearsals one day with a lawyer and said, okay, so now instead of 25, 25, 25, 25, I want 51%, and the rest of you guys split 49%.
Oh.
And because I'm the singer and I'm the guy that everybody's coming to see. And you know, that's usually when bands break up. So they all went for it because otherwise they were going to split up at that point. But he was just bitter and didn't want to do it anymore, and so he left a few shows later. Anyway, sorry, Cosmo, I didn't need to.
It's all good.
30,000 people at the Daytona 500.
Yeah, and it was funny. I mean, you know, when you first go in, you had to put on your mask, and they had people with signs that said "wear your mask," and they were, you know, they were enforcing it to a degree. But you know, once you went out and sat in your seat or the area you were sitting in and had a beer in your hand or a drink, your masks were off. And at the end of the race, after it was rain delayed, of course, so people drank more beer. So nobody was wearing their mask when they were leaving. They're all, but you know, by that time, half the people had left because of the delay. But it's funny, Francis, the drummer for Buck Cherry, says in the old days when you drank a lot of beer, off came your clothes. He says nowadays you drink a lot of beer, off come your mask.
You know, the funny thing about NASCAR, for those of you who are, probably fortunate enough to never have gone to a NASCAR race, you can bring a cooler of beer to your seat.
But not everywhere.
Race.
Not everywhere.
Everywhere I've ever been.
You can't bring it in Vegas. We have to sneak vodka in water bottles. They'll let you bring in water bottles, but that's it.
They check to see if the cap's been opened?
No, they don't look that
I've been
close.
to a bunch of different places. You can bring a cooler. It can't have more than 24 beers in it, I think.
Yeah, Talladega, I know you can do that.
Everywhere. I went to the Daytona 500 with a cooler of, I mean, I think I had 6 beers in a cooler. I wasn't going to bring 24, but I had to be, and I think I did Bud, even though I don't like Bud, but you got to drink Bud if you're going to a NASCAR race.
Busch. You got to drink Busch.
Busch. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
When PBR is too snobby.
Yeah.
I just got a notification in Boston at the TD Garden. They're allowing 12% capacity for basketball for the Celtics and the Bruins.
Why not 13?
Yeah, because at 13 you're going to have a real problem. 12% is good. Somebody did the math on that.
And they're figuring out Fenway Park, but places like the Cleveland Indians Stadium and Cincinnati Reds, they're doing 30% capacity for baseball.
I mean, it's better than nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was so weird seeing nobody in the baseball stands.
Yeah, and then they had the crowd noise. That was really weird.
The crowd noise, and then they had the virtual crowd.
Yeah.
And a lot of the crowd noise was actually for the players because they're so used to having that hum that they had to put it in for the players. Otherwise,
That's what they were doing with hockey, football, right?
Because they do a little bit with football. Yeah, football was more for TV though,
because you could hear them yelling at each other on the field.
Exactly, it was to drown out all the curses.
Well, up in
When
Canada,
WWE was here. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say when WWE was here, they had all virtual at Amway Center. It was weird, very weird.
Yeah.
That was a big production too.
Yeah.
I remember when my old buddy used Frank Santoro. I don't know if any of you know Cosmo. You might know Frank Santoro. Mark, you know him?
I know the name. Can't remember.
Frank Santoro had a company. Craig Burrows, if he's still here, he knows Frank. Craig's got his name here still, but he's probably out eating hot dogs or something. Brisket. Frank Santoro had a company in Orlando called FLA Productions, and he did lighting, and I don't remember what they were called at the time, but it was WCW or WWF or something. And he did their lighting for a number of years and eventually sold them his company. Like they basically came to him and said, Frank, we're paying you a lot of money. Why don't we just buy your rig and we'll hire you as like our production manager or whatever. So he stayed on for another 5 years or whatever as the production manager. But he took me one time backstage to like a WWF thing. And I think I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid. Like in Canada, I went to, what was it called? Stampede Wrestling or something, Claudette?
Yes.
Yeah. The Hart family was from Calgary where I lived and they were a big deal up there, right? So anyways, but I wasn't a fan anymore. So I went to this WWF thing and I got to sit in on a scripting meeting where like all these wrestling guys are sitting there going, hey, who won last night? You won. Okay, so tonight you're going to do this and I'm going to do this and then I'm going to hit you with a chair and then you're going to roll around and then, here's what's going to happen. So they script the whole freaking thing out like right there backstage right before the show, right? It's pretty weird.
Do they ever stop and acknowledge, oh, this is the part where we're going to, roll over some lights and destroy the shit out of them?
I never saw that part. That would have been bad.
Yeah.
You can wreck chairs, but you can't wreck lights, right?
Who was it?
Especially not now.
Was it?
So the plasmatics do a good job of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's funny. Yeah. Hilarious. Bob Harmon left. Does he have anything today?
Say what?
Bob Harmon, you got anything for us today?
Time for the Bob segment.
Bob segment.
The Bob segment.
Well, it's
Bob's our closer.
Our closer. Well, actually, I'm going to take this kind of inside out. Give me this. I can share.
Last week, I got to say, Bob, you really fucked me on the whole birthday party or Valentine's thing or whatever that was last week. You just made me look really bad, and I got in a little bit of trouble. Because everyone was like, oh, Bob's so amazing. His letter is so nice. And, we're all assholes.
Speaking of birthday, happy birthday, Cosmo, a little late. Looked like
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cosmo was supposed to be in Hawaii for his birthday, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in Bora Bora first. Hawaii was second choice, but I ended up cooking a dozen lobsters in my pool, so I'm happy.
Yeah,
Lynn
nice.
was there.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Can I say Cosmo?
What's that?
Can you say
I'm
what?
disabled, I'm
Never
sure.
mind.
Yeah, you can
No,
say.
go ahead.
Yeah, she was
say
at my
it,
house.
man.
She came to my house
Oh,
for my birthday.
I was there. I had a lobster as big as my head. Oh my God.
It was a big lobster, yeah.
It was huge. It was so fun. I love Cosmo and his wife and his local friends. We're just, it's a good group.
And you love his lobster.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I love your lobster, Cosmo.
You only love my lobster because it's so big.
Your lobster's so
Marcel?
big, Cosmo.
Can I quote you on that, Marcel?
Whatever. All right. At this point, what have I got to lose, you know?
Right?
Reputation is left. You can add that to you talking about the massage table where you put your face in the creepy hole.
Exactly. Exactly. Who hasn't?
All right, let me share screen.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I keep forgetting. Bob needs the screen share thing. Good God. Hang on a second, Bob. Here you go.
Yeah, okay. Hang on a second. Let's see which one is it. It's desktop too. Yeah, that should work. Oh, photos better yet.
Bob, we can hear you.
I know.
Just saying.
I know. There you go. All right, so you see a picture of this is Captain Cook landing on the Big Island.
Wow.
You see that?
Where are you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
He's on the beach.
Where are you?
He's on the beach.
Yeah. He took the picture, Cosmo. Jesus Christ, dude.
You're killing me. These are wood block prints. So, you know, when the photographer was at the gig, there's this guy who just didn't get to go to attend all the parties. And he's like carving out these pictures, which are going to be made out of a big block of wood ash that's going to make a stamp. And if you look in the corners, you can actually see the paper has been pressed into. These have become pretty damn valuable. And where I came across them was going to Plaza. Of course, you know, where's Captain Cook reporting the discoveries in the Pacific? Well, back to London. And so guess what? I found them on the streets over there at like 75 pounds a page. They're worth a good $2,500 each now.
Nice.
And I've got about a dozen of these. But the interesting stories, let me tell you about this. Now, so the English, of course, would say the natives, they all so backwards, they can't even spell English. Well, okay, but you know what? The English can't spell Hawaiian for shit either. This is as it say,
Is that what that is?
of Karakakua Bay, which is Kealakekua Bay, in Hawaii, which is the big island of Hawaii, where Captain Cook was killed. Now, Captain Cook went to Hawaii twice. And once he came in, he was, revered as at least a king, but even more powerful, possibly a god. They didn't know. And they brought all kinds of horrible things that they wouldn't have discovered till after they left, and the ship was gone, and the syphilis started to settle in. And so the
I hate it when that happens. I hate when the syphilis settles in.
I know. So when they came back the second time around, because all of his, the shipmates were going, when are we going to go back to Hawaii? We want to see what's going on there. And, there's, I got to see my gal, or my guy, I guess could have been possible then. We wouldn't know as much, but that's notwithstanding. The point is, when they went back, they were ready for him, and they pretty much killed him. That. And but
What'd you get for bringing syphilis?
Yeah, no kidding. So here's a picture. This is the thing of the Pacific. Now I don't think you can see my cursor. I'm guessing not.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, I can't see it. Where is it?
The cursor?
Yeah, there it is.
Upper right corner.
You have a very tiny cursor, Bob. Compared to Cosmo's lobster,
I know.
the cursor is very insignificant.
There's two stories in here. One, this is, can you see where it says Karakakua Bay? It relates to the last one we just looked at in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? Is my cursor pointing that out?
Yeah, you got
Great.
it.
And if you look really close, there's 2 anchor points. Those are the 2 points that he set up. Well, what's also uniquely interesting is that
up these grayed out areas up here in the top corner, those are actually huts. And these other ones to the left side, those are the ones that were at ocean, at sea. But that's not all you glean from this. It's also called the Sandwich Islands. Hawaii is not known as Hawaii yet, not according to, there's Karakakua Bay with the 2 anchor points. So why is it the Sandwich Islands? That's a far more interesting story in many cases. So the Earl of Sandwich, this is the Earl of Sandwich number 4, because they love to keep family names. The Earl of Sandwich 4 put up a lot of the money for Captain Cook to circumvent or to go around the world and find new lands for England and to expand their territory. He was also the guy that he would love to, whenever they came back into London, he'd love to get on the ships and to actually see what that was like. He never actually got on them and did seafaring, but they would certainly take him around, you know, the Mediterranean and things, so that he felt like he was all a part of all this. Well, so you can imagine that the high muckety mucks are at the bottom of the, bottom of the boat, and they're partying, and they've got wine, and they've got, side of beef and the freshest of everything, and they're just having a great old time. And the guys up top are going, "We're hungry. How come we're not part of this?" And in close, pretty darn near a mutiny, they decided to abandon their positions more than once to join them downstairs and insist to be part of it. After losing more than one ship scuttled because nobody was at the helm, the Earl of Sandwich had this guy tied up to the steering wheel of the ship, took a slice of bread, cut it in half, threw meat in it, and said, "Here you go." Hence the sandwich. So, from the Earl of Sandwich. So these are some of the other slides I had. This is the Caribou King of Hawaii. And he's giving presents to Captain Cook. So this had to be the first round.
Bob, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Why do you people use so many vowels?
Well, we joke about that. Vanna, I'll take a vowel. This is pretty common.
You people use a lot of vowels, like double vowels everywhere. Like, who puts 2 I's together for one?
It's
who does
like ornamentation.
Hawaii does.
Hawaii.
So here you have, the natives as they were. Now, the next one is the rarest one I've ever seen. In fact, I've seen no other copies of this. This is from, remember we had an anchor earlier, right? So what does that mean? This is the view from Anchor at Atoi, which happens to be the island of Kauai. And that's easier to read because that's the island of Maui. Yeah. This is the island of Hawaii. This is Oahu, another side of Kauai. And there's another island here called Ni'iau. So this is actually drawn and carved on a ship from the ship's point of view as to discovering the islands now called the Sandwich Islands.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's the only one I've ever come across.
Where'd you find this one? You found this in England too?
I did. Yeah, I got to know a couple of antique dealers, and I gave them money each at the end of each plaza, and I just said, "Here's 500. Here's 500 pounds. You're going to collect every one that you think I'm going to be interested in. When I come back to plaza, you're going to get them to me." And honestly, they'd probably return half the money, but each one would come up with a couple a year, and there it is. That's all I've got to share on that.
So how long were they called the Sandwich Islands before they stopped using that term?
I think it was early 1800s. I mean, we're talking about, the Captain Cook, we're talking 1700s. The country's just becoming in the United States as this all is occurring. I wanted to show you this too, though, because you guys were talking about hordes and drinking and such things. That's kind of topical.
Not us.
I know. And so thanks to Jake Berry and the lighting director, I'm trying to remember his name, I got to see the Rolling Stones on I think it was my 30 some odd birthday. And this was in
Rome. And, or not Rome, no, in Greece. This is the Colosseum in Greece. And the Hells Angels are there. And I'm scratching my head going, gosh, I can't believe they're still here in a VIP section. And they were. And, well, they kind of became friends while we were there because we had, at that point, some greenery from Hawaii. And they were really upset when I got ready to leave. This is the leader of them. You know, they'd share their beer, we'd share our herb. And he got terribly upset with me that I was going to leave and look, I got to find a bathroom. And he waved to these guys, it hauled a porta-potty through that crowd and plopped it down. And it was ugly as hell, and the roof was dripping blue. And,
that's hilarious.
There you go. You can't really refuse.
Yeah.
When you're offered something like that.
That's hilarious. All right, everyone. I have to go. Because I have sous vide salmon that freaking Chris McMean showed me how to cook. So I gotta go finish it.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks all. See you next week. All right. Have an amazing week.
Yeah. Hey,
bye,
tune
Craig
in
Burrows.
to the LPS.
Did you send the link?
If you want.
Have a good week, all.
What's that?
Did you send the
Send the link? I can't.
Oh, it's too late now. Well, email it to me. Email it to me,
Okay.
and I'll put it in the thing that I send out to everyone else.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
It was yeah. Okay. I'll send it to you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.